Chinese President Xi Jinping departed Hungary Friday, having signed 18 bilateral agreements to increase economic and cultural ties. The two countries announced what they termed a new era, all-weather, comprehensive strategic partnership.
深化经贸
To deepen cooperation in the fields of economy and trade, investment and finance.
推进匈塞铁路
Chinese investment in Hungary amounts to over $17 billion, according to Budapest, including electric car and battery plants. The European Union accuses China of unfairly subsidizing the industry, which Beijing denies. But this visit was about more than money. China and Hungary sent a geopolitical message.
We used to live in a one-center world order. Now we live in a multipolar world, and one of the pillars of this new world order is China.
Xi and Orban discussed Russia's war on Ukraine. The West accuses China of aiding Moscow's invasion through economic support and the sale of dual-use goods that can be used in weapons. Orban also maintains close political and economic ties with Russia.
Our voice in Europe is a lonely one. Europe today supports war. The only exception is Hungary, urging an immediate ceasefire and peace talks.
Hungary's traditional allies in the European Union and NATO have voiced anger at its close ties with China and Russia, but it won't bother Budapest, says analyst András Hete.
In fact, it might be even a point of which our government will be proud, because by now there is a very strong alienation between the Hungarian government and its Western partners, to the point where the present Hungarian government does not want to achieve, does not deem important to have a good reputation in the West.
There were small demonstrations against the Chinese president's visit. Teams of what the Chinese embassy in Budapest called volunteers confiscated protesters' flags. Prior to visiting Hungary, Xi visited Serbia, another European ally with close ties to Moscow and, like Hungary, a partner of Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative. That followed a two-day trip to France, where Xi praised President Emmanuel Macron's call to reduce Europe's dependence on the United States. China is seeking to exploit divisions in the West, says analyst Steve Sang.
And that is, of course, reflected in the choice of all three countries that Xi Jinping would visit. So the more that China can charm Europe and persuade Europeans not to work with the Americans, the better.
Xi's visit to Europe was a carefully choreographed trip, but it will have done little to assuage fears in the West over China's long-term economic and geopolitical goals. Henry Ridgwell, VOA News.